This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks NYC. I'm with my friend Simon Mansell. We've known each other for 18 months now, and when we first met, you said, I'm going to build this big distribution company, and 18 months later, here we are. So, mission accomplished to start, I think, in the first inning.
Well, thanks for having me. Thank you.
So, what I want to talk about today, since you've definitely been somewhat of a leader here in bringing innovative technologies, one into the U.S., but also bringing it into these alternative points of distribution and creating revenue opportunities for health clubs and chiropractors and traditional wellness clinics. So you want to talk first about your background and then talk about the products that you've got exclusive representation on and what we can expect by deploying those.
Sure. I'm an advertising guy by background. I ran an ad agency for about 13 years. And then I went, a SaaS company called Sprinkler acquired my company, and I went and worked there and ran a division there for about 3 years. I wanted to get more into this kind of space. Me and my family had struggled a lot with our weight for a long time, so it's kind of an area that I'm passionate about. I spent a lot of time thinking about how to, improve me and my family's life. A lot of my family have diabetes. Mm-hmm. Was lucky enough to discover this product called Cryoskin whilst I was on holiday with my wife in St. Bart's. She went to have a treatment. She has a lot of treatments. I spend a lot of money on them. Normally when she comes back, I tell her that, they've made a big difference. But, a lot of the time they haven't really. In this case, however, she came back. She was in a bikini. She's got a little bit of cellulite on her legs. And when she came back from having this treatment, she had no cellulite.
So, from one treatment?
One treatment.
Wow.
So I was amazed by that. I went straight to the spa. I'm a businessman even when I'm on holiday, and was asking them about the machine. And they were like, yeah, it's an amazing product. Unfortunately, we don't get the most use out of it because it's, people aren't here for that long. But actually, it helps people lose weight. It cures cellulite. I sent one of my team over to France to bring the first device into the US. I put it in my retail location in Tribeca. Mm-hmm. We did about $38,000 of revenue in the first month with no advertising. All word of mouth. So, women would come in. The next day, 5 of their friends would come in because you normally lose around an inch on your tummy immediately. And it will also cure light cellulite.
And just so people understand what the actual device does, you basically, it's similar to a cool sculpting, but a safer application.
Yeah, it's more for the beauty or gym audience rather than medical.
Right.
But it's the same type of approach. Basically, fat cells are sensitive to cold temperature. So when you expose fat to cold, it kind of shrivels up, and then the macrophages, which are part of the lymphatic system, will remove those fat cells permanently. So it's very natural and organic because it's just cold temperature, but it has an immediate impact on fat.
And so obviously this one application with your wife down in St. Bart's delivered those types of results, but if there's a health club operator or there's a fitness boutique operator and they're looking to include this as part of their breadth of service offering, what's a typical, is it 6 sessions, is it 12, is it 20? What's the
we just did the first clinical study, 16 people. It worked on 15 of the 16. So, most people it works, not everyone. On those 15, the average person lost 1.85 inches on the abdomen over 5 sessions. Okay. You need a 2-week gap between each session. The way we do have a number of gyms already working with us, doing pretty well. So we have a good cohort doing around $500 of additional revenue per day in gyms. So they just put it in a small space and provide the treatments. We provide the training for free. We provide the machine for free. We provide all the marketing support for free. They just share the revenue with us on a free trial basis.
So what type of person do you need to actually do the procedure? So you don't need a doctor and you don't need a medical assistant or...
No, so you don't need to be a medical person. Obviously, you are getting into quite personal areas of a woman's body a lot of the time, so it needs to be somebody that a woman's going to feel comfortable with. But we can train pretty much anybody to do it. People who have got some massage or esthetician's background, etc., generally do well. Someone who has some understanding of the body. But we do train basically anyone. We have a 6-hour training session that we run.
Got it. Now, from when we originally met to where you are today, the business decision seems a lot easier. So you're basically saying there's no money up front. You're doing a straight rev share and taking the risk on the upside and downside. Obviously.
Yeah, so there's a new business model called hardware as a service. So software as a service is where you got software and you paid monthly for the software. This business model is called hardware as a service because you get some hardware, as in we give you a Cryoskin machine and we give you the branding and marketing support and the training, etc. But you pay nothing up front. You just pay a monthly fee. There's no contract commitment. And there's a free trial period. So in the first couple of months, there's no commitment. So if you put it in your gym and you aren't one of the guys doing $500 a day or more, and it doesn't work out for you, we come and pick it up from you. It's very easy to return it. Mm-hmm. So we take some more risk than the average, machine distribution company.
And when you say is it a per day or is it a per use? So
we charge, so you have to charge customers a minimum of $250 per session. The recommended pricing is $350 a session.
Okay.
So we have retail, the best retailer in the country is doing about $65,000 a month in revenue. And then obviously we have a lot who are doing a lot less than that. But, I think in gyms it's worked pretty well because those people are there to lose weight a lot of the time, and this is a way of helping them do that. And it's also easier because it's instant, it's painless, it's like having a massage.
Yeah. What's the time per session?
28 minutes.
28 minutes. That's it. Wow. And it's typically in a private room that has been done, and then just go in the locker room afterwards.
You've got to have some area you can curtain off or something because obviously people are taking their clothes off. So it's got to be a sort of fairly private area for people. So
what are some of the hesitations that you get, or people are saying, hey, that's interesting, there's no barriers to entry for me not to say yes? Is it they're not ready, they don't think the club has got is the authority on that type of treatment? What are you still running into?
I mean, it requires some focus and somebody who understands, Europe is ahead of the US in terms of these types of beauty technologies. So it just requires, it's the early adopters still, right? We just signed our 500th unit, but that's still scratching the surface of the market. If you think about the number of gyms, the number of chiropractors, we can sign...
it's got to be 300,000.
Yeah, so we think we can sign, 20, 30,000 units over the next few years. So we're still very early, and we're mainly signing people who are a bit more aggressive, want to grow their business a bit more, want to try new things a bit when they're early. So, they're the main things. And then, it's just, you have to learn the technique. It's not that hard. And then you have to have some marketing execution. We tell you what to do, so you don't need to think of the strategy, because obviously that's what me and my team did for a long time. But you still have to execute on what we tell you to do.
Gotcha. And is there's no exclusivity. So people, if there's someone across the street that has a Cryoskin, are you offering that, or how are you doing that?
One of the advantages of this business model is we collect a lot of data. We know the revenue of every single retailer, right? So we've done some analysis on proximity. When you put two units very close to each other, it doesn't make a lot of difference to revenue. However, the retailers get upset when they see one down the street.
Right.
So what we have decided to do, only in the last few months, is we are only placing one unit per 75,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So if you're in a smaller zip code and someone else has it, we won't sell you one. Now, over time, we might loosen that up because we actually don't think it makes a lot of difference, and it's building awareness of this product, because we're building the Cryoskin brand. But right now, if you're in an area where it's a smaller zip code, you may not be able to get one.
So as you think about your business, and you've come from a software background, so when you think about the distributors and the customers downstream, and you're the equipment provider, how do you think about who you are in the mix? You're the evangelist, you're the marketer, you're in charge of getting them traffic. Do you think of yourself almost like as a virtual franchisor?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could be, if you think about us as a franchise business, obviously we're not franchisers, we don't control what the retailers do, etc. But if you think about that way in terms of a business model, I think it could be the fastest growing franchise type business of all time. I think we can get to, as I said, 10, 20,000 units, making a few $1,000s a month per unit. And also we can amortize services, right? So I just hired the best Facebook ads guy in the world who used to work for me, and he is going to be running the Facebook ads for all our retailers. They would never be able to afford him. I was paying him $1 million a year when he was working for me before. So because I've got 500 retailers, I can spread his cost over all those people, and they get access to a Facebook ads team that they would never even know existed.
Right.
So there's other services that we can provide to the retailers because of scale. And I just think this kind of hardware as a service model, this whole like beauty technology space is pretty new. And the fact that we are, this kind of free trial means that we can scale very quickly.
So when you look at, you're still running everything under Artemis as a distribution company. What's your vision of what Artemis becomes? Is it the next generation of innovative technologies into the Halo sector? Is it, focus on Cryoskin and get that to where it should be and then kind of thinking about the next phase?
So we have a couple of products coming behind Cryoskin, which are also very innovative new products. My goal is to, be the category defining hardware as a service company in this kind of Halo space. It's a little bit difficult to start a hardware as a service company because you have to have capital. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm hoping that I can get to 5,000, 10,000 units, obviously making sure that the retail partners that we work with still can make as much money as possible. And then, build brand, which helps grow the amount of use that those retailers are getting, add services like Facebook advertising services, et cetera. Yeah, I'm hoping to define a new category.
So what are some of the places now that people could see the Cryoskin or take the, can test it out on their own if they're a potential customer here?
So there's a website, cryoskin.co, so .co, no M at the end. And there's a location finder on the site. If you type in your zip code, you'll be able to find one that's near you. Obviously, if anyone's in New York City, they're welcome to contact me through you guys and I'll arrange a session for them. Mm-hmm. If they do go to a retailer, they will need to pay for the session because they're not franchises. I don't control their business. But I definitely say it's worth trying. I'm actually going to my Cryoskin appointment right after this, so I'm a firm believer in the product myself.
So we'll have a before and after picture before the podcast.
I won't be providing that.
Okay, that's fine.
So, I think it's a great addition to diet and exercise. It doesn't replace diet and exercise. If you are eating pizzas every day, it's not going to help you. But if you are trying to lose that last inch, it's definitely a good thing to add to your sort of routine.
Yeah, and the last question, if I'm a health club operator, I've got an extra massage room, what from the day I call you to the day I'm up and running, what does that look like?
So there's a few requirements. You obviously have to sign an agreement with us. We'll send you that. We'll discuss it with you, etc. You need to add us to some insurance, general liability and property insurance. Mm-hmm. There's a billing form. I have a waiting list of about 200 retailers right now, but a lot of those retailers are not that organized about getting all the paperwork done. So I did have somebody last week who signed the contract, he got his insurance done, he got his billing form done, and he had a machine the next day. So we actually can provide machines, Cryoskins, very quickly, but most people take a month to get with their insurance broker, and there's some stuff to go through. You also have to attend the 6-hour training course. So because we're giving you the machine for free, we ask that you attend at one of our locations. There's 12 locations across the US.
Got it. That's great. So 2019, new year, new you. So Cryoskin should be part of your amenity offering. And congrats on the success to date, and look forward to being a part of it.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks.
Nice to see you.
You too.